All right, the next step we're going to teach you is telephone verification approach. So when you do have rare instances where you need to qualify or verify appointments for your representatives with the customer, I'm going to go through some scenarios with you and actually role play some in a live scenario. Before I do that though, there's a telephone verification approach that most of you received either on your flash drive or via some conference or event. In the phone approach, the idea of the phone approach is not to try to get the consumer, the customer, or the person that you're calling to answer it wrong. You're trying to verify the appointment, not de-verify the appointment. So as you go through, it's imperative that you try to make sure it's verified. The other thing is too, is when you have the representative, or if you can have a representative there with you to do it, it's even better. So if you can say to the representative, hey, I'm going to be calling some of these people. As a matter of fact, why don't we call some of them right now? Like you can just sit here and we'll just verify through them real quick to make sure that all these are verified, and that way you can get paid appropriately. Because if you can verify them with the representative sitting there, it's much better because they hear what you're saying, they hear that you're trying to verify the appointments for them, and then the ones who don't verify, you can simply look at them and go, hey, what am I supposed to say to this person who's saying that you never did an appointment with them? You want to talk to them real quick and see if they can remember you? So it's an easy way to make sure the appointments are verified and there's no confrontation again with the representative if you can have them there when you verify a few of them. I know all your schedules are a little different, but if you ever have a chance to do that, that's an easy way. And again, you don't verify very many appointments, so if you can have the rep there, it's a very quality thing to do. So we're going to do a quick role play here with you. So, hi, Mrs. Long, are you there?
Yeah.
Good. Well, I work with Cutco. My name is Stacy, and I work with Cutco. And I believe that Brian was over to show you Cutco here recently. Is that correct?
Yes, he was over.
Okay, great. Well, I'm not selling anything. I just want to call real quick to get your opinion on a few quick things and to help us offer some better service to our customers. So I just had a couple of quick questions. Do you have a quick second?
I sure do.
Okay, great. First of all, do you remember how long the appointment lasted?
I think Brian was here about 30 or 45 minutes.
30, 45 minutes? Okay, great. And so did that seem long, too long, too short, or was that just fine? I mean, what do you think?
Just fine. We had a good time.
Great. And did he get a chance to do some cutting of demonstrations with you to cut up some different things?
Yes.
Do you remember what he cut up?
He cut a penny with some scissors.
Good.
And we cut rope.
Okay, great. And you got a chance to cover all the prices and all the set options with you as well?
Yes.
Okay, great. And you might be able to save me some time in verifying some of these other appointments. Was there anything else? Was there anyone else there for the presentation, or was it just you, or was there other people there? Or?
Just me and my husband.
Okay, great. All right. And now, just for our demographics, are you between the ages of 18 and 24, 25 and 34, or are you over the age of 35?
Over the age of 35.
Okay, all right. And you work full or part-time?
I work part-time. My husband's full-time.
Okay, great. Okay, great. Well, thanks very much for your help. I really appreciate it. And thanks for taking the time to look at Cutco and help Brian out.
Thank you.
All right. So that scenario is one where our customer pretty much saw the appointment, knew exactly what was happening in the process, and was obviously that would be a verified appointment. You need to pay the rep, okay, is what you need to do. We're going to go through a scenario next where a customer does not remember seeing Cutco. So we'll go through a scenario, and I'll show you how I deal with a situation if a person did not see the product line and trying to make sure that they have it. Because a lot of times a random phone call, they're not going to remember certain things. So phone rings, ring. Hi, is this Miss Long?
Yes.
Hi, Miss Long. This is Stacy Campbell. I work with Cutco products, and I was calling because I have here that Brian Winans, one of our representatives, was over to show you Cutco recently. Is that right?
Who?
Brian Winans, Cutco. Did you see some knives, like some kitchen knives, hunting, fishing knives? Did anybody come over to your house to show you knives here recently?
No.
No. Okay. Do you know Brian?
Brian. What was the last name again?
Winans?
I believe that's the son of one of my coworkers.
Yeah? Okay, great. But he didn't come over to show you Cutco? Did he maybe call you and set up an appointment with you?
My coworker mentioned something about him
Okay.
starting a new job.
Okay, no problem. All right, well, maybe he just, maybe he had you down here as just one of the people he wanted to go see. So he might be getting in touch with you. So no big deal. I'll let you run then. So I just had a couple of quick questions as a follow-up, but obviously it sounds like you haven't had your quick questions for follow-up yet. So I will, hopefully he'll be able to get in touch with you and maybe help him out.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So if you notice here how I tried to find every way for that person to be verified, or at least to have seen the appointment. Do you know, Brian? Do you know about Cutco? Have you heard of knives? Because a lot of times you say, I'm with Cutco. They may go, Cutco, Cutco, Cutco. And if they didn't buy something, or maybe if the demo was a very quick appointment, there's some problems there that could exist with them not even remembering, but they did do an appointment. And if you went back to a representative and said, hey, representative, you didn't show this person Cutco, and that person's like, you're crazy. I did show them Cutco, and they really did. The person just didn't remember. That obviously comes across really, really bad, like we are trying to disqualify appointments. So when you have that person who says they haven't heard of Cutco or whatever, really dig hard. Did you see knives? Did you see anybody cut rope and leather? Did anybody come over to your house recently? Maybe how about your work? I didn't even throw that in there, but how about your work? Did anybody come over to your work and do it? Just something where maybe they would have thought they showed them Cutco, and we can say, hey, we know you showed Miss Long Cutco, but you did that, at her office. You did that at this, which obviously was part of the reason that she didn't remember seeing it. All right. The last scenario we're going to give you here is an example of a customer who has seen the appointment, but maybe it wasn't a quality appointment or a qualified appointment from what we as a management staff would view as a qualified appointment. So the scenario is one of the person knows about Cutco, but their appointments have not really been full-blown. Maybe they're smaller appointments, 15 minutes. Maybe they weren't cutting up everything. Maybe they didn't go through options. So we'll show you an example of how this works. So, hi, is this Miss Long?
Yeah.
Hi, Miss Long. This is Stacy Campbell. I work with Cutco products, and I was calling because I see here that Brian Winans was over to show you Cutco recently. Is that right?
Who?
Brian Winans showed you some Cutco products. It's kitchen knives and hunting and fishing knives. Did you see those?
Yeah, the knives. Yes.
Yes, yeah. No, well, I was just calling real quick as a quick follow-up. Had a couple of quick questions as kind of a service to our customers. Do you have a quick second?
Sure.
Okay. First of all, do you remember how long the appointment Brian did lasted?
I think he was here probably 15, 20
Okay, it's about 15 or 20 minutes. Okay. Gotcha. So, and when he was there for that appointment, did he do some cutting demonstrations? Did he cut rope or leather or any of those type of things?
He cut a penny with some scissors, but that was it.
Okay. So you didn't see any rope or leather or any, did the knives do any cutting at all?
No, we
Okay.
looked at all of them.
I looked at it all? Okay, great. And did you get a chance to go through all the prices and all the options with you?
We've looked through the whole book, yeah.
Okay, great. And did you see the different sets that were available?
Yeah, like I said, we looked through the book. I looked at some of the individual
Okay,
pieces.
great. And I guess the appointment's about 15 minutes, so you're kind of in a hurry or whatever, just probably had to go or whatever?
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff going on.
Okay, no problem. And just save some time in verifying some of these other appointments and just some of our follow-up. Was anyone else there for your presentation, Miss Long? Or was it just you, or was there anybody else there?
No, just me.
Just you? Okay, great. All right, and just for our demographics, are you between the ages of 18 and 24, or 25 and 34, or are you over 35?
Between 25 and 34.
Okay, great. And do you work full or part-time, or are you not working, or?
I work full-time.
You work full-time? Okay, great. Well, thanks for your time, obviously, and I really appreciate it. And thanks for taking the time to look at Cutco.
Thank you.
All right. So in this scenario, basically, I would want to follow up, and you can tell by the beginning of the presentation that she was obviously hesitant about, the process as a whole. Like, what was that again? What was the product? When you have those scenarios happen, basically it's important that you go ahead and say, how long was the presentation? And obviously in this scenario, she answered in 15 or 20 minutes. If they go, well, I don't really remember how long it took. It's important to go, was it 15 minutes, 30 minutes, was it an hour or more? And give them some things that they can give you answers to, so that way you can have the answers. What did they cut? I don't really remember. They cut a penny. Great. What about rope and leather? Did they do any of those type of things? Again, trying to get them to answer these questions, quote unquote, the right way, would be very, very good. Did they cover prices and options? And obviously in this scenario, it would seem as if they didn't really cover the prices or the options with that customer. However, we don't know that for sure, and without a customer knowing what the prices and the options are, that's tough to do. The other thing that happens is sometimes you'll have the person who does say, yeah, as a matter of fact, a couple of my other friends watched the appointment. Okay, great. You remember who those people were? And what you can do is look at the presentation report and review it with, and they go, well, I don't remember exactly. And what I can always do is just say, okay, well, was it Sylvia and was it Maria? Because they were right after your appointment here on the sheet, and many times they'll go, oh yeah, they were there as well. So these scenarios happen where you have these people who didn't. When you address this with a representative, it's important that when you sit down with a rep, to explain to them, listen, what we originally talked about in training was to do an appointment with somebody who's over the age of 25, somebody who's gainfully employed, to do it one-on-one, to do the whole demo, including all the visual demos and quoting prices. Here's what we found out when we verified some of your appointments. And what will happen is you'll have a person who may have 10 or 15 appointments, 20 appointments, or in that case of that 30 or 40 appointment person, where 2 of them check out and 5 of them don't. So in that situation, we'll deal with this here in a little bit on how you're going to deal with that situation, but you need to be able to sit down with a representative and be able to have exact facts and things to talk to them about. Not, we don't feel like you did the appointment because you didn't make sales. That's not a good enough reason. So this is why you verify them, to get real facts and real things to be able to help you out whenever you talk to the rep and discuss with them a settlement or some type of conclusion to the situation.